Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So today I like to share with you that you don't want to get cheated from those who keeping talking about they evolve their Wing Chun in the internal way, or they evolve their Wing Chun in the internal art way. Yeah. Those are diseases. Okay. When people tell you, oh, I evolve my Wing Chun in the internal art way, those are diseases. Until today, up to today, at this instance, there's no such thing as Wing Chun, which is have evolved with internal art by evidence. Now, you might question, why am I so sure? I am this sure because the Chinese martial art, the traditional Chinese martial arts, have a solid platform, have a solid platform. If you know this platform, you will be able to analyze an art. If you know this platform, you know what is missing. If you know this platform, you know all those internal evolutions of Wing Chun are bullshit. So today I'm going to share with you that you need to know this platform, or else you really don't know what you're studying. And also, I'm going to use internal art, uh, the writing and evidence to share with you that people today really just create their own stuff, which is never work. Now, to evolve Wing Chun, there's nothing wrong with that. You want to evolve Wing Chun in the internal art way or hybrid with Tai Chi or Xing Yi or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to know what is Wing Chun. What is those Xing Yi, Yi Quan, and all this internal stuff? You don't get into the position, first, you have no idea what is Wing Chun. The second, you're keeping talking about the Taoist, the meditation teaching, all those nonsense. Have you ever fought in the ring before? You look at those who do those internal art stuff, you look at it, asking them a question, have they really fought in the ring before? Disregard what ring, okay? So it is a serious problem today because many of our friends, Wing Chun friends, in the past 1 week is talking about this. His Sifu evolved Wing Chun into internal and all this. I heard about it, all this nonsense. Okay, he just said selling snake oil. So let's get to the bottom of the line, and then once you know what is going on, you'll be able to think clearly. Is this what you want? Is it real or it is nonsense? Even though you don't know the very detailed stuff, but you know. It's like I live in San Jose, I'm going to San Francisco, which is the northern side. If somebody told me there's a way to go to San Francisco, even though I don't know the details, I check is it go north or where it go. If it's not go north, I know it's bullshit. So let's go for it, okay? So a few days ago, I shared this YouTube, okay? The standard with the two keys of verifications, okay? Now, due to this, many of our Wing Chun friends have already watched it. And I purposely make this YouTube so that people can understand what is going on, what to look for when you talk about Wing Chun. If you don't know Wing Chun, how can you evolve it into uh, with any other martial arts? If you don't know Wing Chun, you don't even know what it is. Keeping telling me about this Hongga is Wing Chun, White Crane Fujian is Wing Chun, this Shaolin Wang Chun Eternal Spring is Wing Chun. What is good? It's just like keeping arguing the the Google phone is the Apple phone. But I have no idea what is Apple phone, what is the Google phone. So that's why I make this YouTube. So I hope that you guys who have not watched it yet, watch it because this is the bottom line. Now, after many of our Wing Chun friends watch it and many discuss with me, I want to share with you a sample from a Wing Chun friends. So this is what this friend said. What I understand from Mr. Santos' teaching, which is that YouTube, is that Wing Chun 1850 is a general Chi Chi Guang short strike. This is belong to the general Chi Chi Guang short strike, was a battlefield art. The goal was to maximize damage to the enemy while avoiding being killed. Okay, so that's the first point. You want to go fighting, that is to maximize damage and avoiding being killed. You need to be able to 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 avoid being hit and be able to strike really heavily. Only 3 days ago, a Wing Chun friends asked me about this Wing Chun, uh, the bottom line. I say it's very simple. In the time I train, within 3 months, you need to know how strong is your strike, your fist strike, or your elbow strike. Can you break a bricks? Can you break something? If you don't, how do you know that you'll be able to create damage? Today, probably people don't do that anymore. And at that time, we condition the knuckle until it's kind of flat. Well, sure, because I'm a Kyokushin too. If when we participate in the open tournament, the first thing is you need to have a breaking test. Only you can pass the breaking test, you can participate into the tournament. So that's the thing. How much damage you can cause? You want to talk straight that way. Now, I don't say that you using this to bully people. As I always say, there's a moral code there. Even in Kyokushin, there's a dojo gun. Okay. And I always say, if you read the Kyokushin dojo gun 4, it tell you have to behave. Okay. So, but it's a martial arts. If you are incapable to do damage and you are incapable to avoid being hit, what is that? Don't tell me about this hand technique, then hand techniques. That's off-topic stuff. That's movie. So that's the bottom line of Chinese Kung Fu because it's based on general Qi Shi Guang's teaching. Now, So in order to do that, it is based on momentum, enable the fighter to accomplish this most effectively. So it's in this YouTube. Okay, it is like a rock roll down from the hill. That's momentum play. Now, so the bottom line is that somebody is going to attack you like a rock going to crush you, and you will have to avoid it, to run away or to angle away, like this guy facing the big momentum. That's the name of the game of the entire Chinese Kung Fu. Okay, based on the general Qi Chi Guang. Now, knowing that you know what is Chinese Kung Fu as a general, and Wing Chun is based on that. Now, so Wing Chun have a uniqueness, a forearm Wing Chun uniqueness, with his sticking body short strike. Wow, this is the sticking body short strike. Wing Chun fight this close. So it is this close, Wing Chun fight. You get this into him. Your leg crushing his inner thigh, your body stick and press at the opponent. You get this close. This is what it is. Okay. And you have four arms because the leg is one arm, the body is another arm, the two hand for strike is two arms. So you have the forearm. Without doing this, you do not know Wing Chun because in Cantonese, this is called big bow, pressure the steps. This is going this close called my san or tip san, sticking at the body. So that's what it is. Okay. Now, so prior to entering, Wing Chun have the techniques of like this short finger. This is for very, very distance. You use this to probe like the jab of the Western boxing. Okay. You probing for the thing before you get in because you are close quarter fighting arts. So that is the forearm art. Now, it is not what you see such as this. This is not a close quarter art. This is not Wing Chun. So why is that not Wing Chun? Because you look at the body, the two arm is stretching like that. You look at the body is far away. Okay, the body is far away. This type of style, you can walk into people's body shot. You walk into other people's, give you a body shot and KO you. And that is also you walk into people take you down because you have this space for him. Wing Chun, no. Wing Chun, the leg attacking, you see, the leg is going in there, crush him. The body crush in. So the Wing Chun actually it is attacking the leg, attacking the body, the middle form, and then attacking the upper part. So it go in straight. It leave no room for people going to doing kind of takedown or the the body shots. Of course, people still can change directions and give you takedown a body shot, but in the really basic, you have this protection there. You are attacking him. Why you getting in? It's not this. It's not this. It's not you walk in here with all this empty, you pose no threat to your opponent. You have to threat him. You have to attack with his leg, attack with the body. You don't open this up so people can go ambush you and attack you while you think your hand technique can reach them. That is not Wing Chun. That is not this the forearm arts. This is not my son. My son or sticking the body or getting close. This doesn't have big ball pressuring the steps. Okay, be careful. So that's the characteristic of Wing Chun. And then he said, lastly, I feel the three training types is the operating guide of how we need to train to allow our bodies to achieve this, perform, recuperate, and strengthening. Well, there are three type of training. You want to play in momentum play like this, you need to train for the three types of functional training. Or else, here he said that the soul of fighting game is be able to move the body. If you don't have these three types of training, you do not be able to handle your body. So as I shared before, there's the chi neurosing training, the fitness training, the strengthening training. And then you have three types of breathing. The chi neurosing, you have the subtle breathing. The fitness training, you have the common breathing, which is this is the aerobic, like usually aerobic training. And then for the strengthening training, which is the lactic threshold anaerobic training, you have the windy breathing. You look at people who sprinting, they breathe, you know, their breathing, you can hear their breathing. Those are windy breathing. So there are three types of breathing for the three types of training. Okay, the recovery or chi neurosing, aerobic endurance, and anaerobic endurance. You have to have those three. This is Wing Chun, and this is Chinese Kung Fu too, because this is the common denominator. Okay, if you don't have this in Chinese Kung Fu, it means that your art is not complete. If you don't have this about maximize the damage and avoiding the damage, you do not have the basic of the Kung Fu. All Chinese Kung Fu, the valid one is like that. Okay. Now, so if you do this three training, you know how to align your body, you know how to handle your breathing, your intra-abdominal pressure. Okay. You know how to handle all your the mobility stability continuum. You know how to handle the action and reaction force, the action force and the reaction force, the action force going through your body via this mobility and stability continuum or the kinematic chain. Okay, now, and if you go through that, of course, you're going to go to doing deadlift and to train your tendons and your bone density and your joints, and you have all this training for 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 strengthening, for strengthening. So you can go to different directions. For strengthening, you should be able to take impact on your body. So these three type of training from recovery to aerobic endurance, anaerobic endurance, muscular endurance for fighting, this is the three common denominator of proper traditional Chinese Kung Fu. They have a uniqueness or different way of train, but they always have to cover this. Now, so all this YouTube, if you go to my YouTube, you watch it, there's a lot of details there. I have shared a lot of details. Also, the reason I wrote all these books, okay, there's Kung Fu 1560s, uh, Distracting Wing Chun, Decoding Wing Chun, Wing Chun Inceptions, and the Wing Chun Nei Gong Code is to clearly in details and scientific way present what is going on with this. How do you handle this? Now, only if you have those details, you can say I know Wing Chun. Not the best fighter, the grandmaster, but we know Wing Chun. We know the common denominator of traditional Chinese martial art. We know the uniqueness. We know Wing Chun in a very basic, fundamental way. Without knowing this, the person have no idea on what is Wing Chun. Okay? So if you want to evolve something, evolve Wing Chun with a internal art or whatever, you need first to know this. Or else how can you know that your artwork, what you learn work? Now, disregard if you are internal or external or whatever, you cannot avoid this. This this is the way how Wing Chun do, according to the writing. Is as I present in my book. Now, let's look into an internal art. Once you have this basic, this common denominator, you see this platform, this platform, this common denominator. You can use this as the tools. Yeah. Even though right now I share it in a Wing Chun way, you can use the same common denominator to check on anybody's art. Yeah. You can check on Chinese Kung Fu. So today I want to use an internal art. Let's check on it. The real deal internal art. See, okay, once you know this thing, you can see what is the internal art talking about. So let's go back to 1930. 1930, where Tang Hao and Manny and Ma Li Tang want to reform it using the physical education's teaching of Professor Charles McCrory, who is from United States. Okay, because McCrory is in China, 1913 and 1926. Okay, now let's look in the real deal. We don't want to get into this grandmaster, that grandmaster nonsense. We get into the real founder of a style or a respectable style, internal art, respectable style. We want to see exactly at this time in the 1930s. the real people, not the bullshit selling chi, hai ji, I can walk on snow without trace, those type of nonsense. Okay? Let's look at the real guy who fought, who who is known to fight, have his writing. And since I have shared with you this basic common denominator of traditional Chinese Kung Fu, even here I show you the Wing Chun way, but you can use that to check on this internal art. See, did they cover the thing I just mentioned, that three training? Of course, they do it differently. So let's go. Go back to 1930, where the Chinese try to wipe away, clean up the bullshit like today is selling. Like last time, why is this bullshit stay today? It's because all these people go fighting the Japanese invasion. Japanese in starting create trouble for China in 1931, and then start a war or a big deal in 1937. Japanese is pretty bad, the military people. So all these people go, the real martial artists go for fighting the Japanese. And what left is all those bullshit snake oil seller. Where today you can see all this thing. And when communist China take over China at the 1950s, after all the war, the Chinese government is pointing direction that the Chinese Kung Fu travel the directions or taking the directions of demonstrations and help. So the part of fighting completely is gone. So you can read about Chinese culture today, like the wushu. Those are just the modern creations. So now we want to go back to 1931, 1930. Let's see what it is. So today we're going to use Yi Quan, and this is the founder of Yi Quan, Wang Xiangzai. Okay, so this is how he lived. He's Da Chen Quan or Yi Quan, and he's known to fight many people, overseas and so forth, so forth. So we get his writing in 1930, actually 1929 or 1930. Because the writing, remember the writing after 1950, after the communist Chinese regime, it already, all this are banning. So let's look into it. So this is the Wang Xiangzai's writing, the authentic Yi Quan. Okay, so this is uh, the year 2029. So you have so many things written by him, of course, right? Not Hendrik here. So I took a part of here and I just dump it into the Google, let it translate to show you. So dump it in. So let's look into it. He said, in recent time, the world moral have declined, and scholars are often drawn to bizarre and unusual. Little do they know that the true path and great way lies within ordinary and everyday life. Meaning that it goes fantasy like today. Tai Chi Zhan Sang Feng, the Taoist art. Okay. And he said that people often overlook this because it's so close, yet they saying that the way is not far from people, but rather people pursue of the way make it seem distant. And this is increasing evident, meaning that people don't look at what in front of their eyes. People start fantasy. The Tao is the magic. This started increasing in 1930. 1929. Okay. Xiang is the founder, Mr. Wang Xiangzai. Here he said that Xiang did not seek fame and fortune through such means. Okay, I don't want to bullshit people, another said. But recent social trend has become increased based, neglecting practical matter and pursuing empty reputation. Yeah, you grandmaster, I'm grandmaster, everybody grandmaster. You make a movie and you grandmaster. Okay. Thus, those who seek profit do not engage in self-study, but instead plagiarize, corrupt, and outdate the text, using them as true tools for making a living. At that time, don't have movie. So all these people who nonsense people who want to make money just using all kinds of my sifu says this text and everything. They never study anything. They writing article, creating story like today's making movie to make their living and corrupted the entire thing. Their writing are full of absurdity, venturing into the realm of mysticism. Isn't all this thing internal, right? Qi, Neijing, and you speak some a little bit Chinese term, and it sound like you are goddamn expert. Or you say, "Well, it's my grandmaster is this," and sometimes they conjunct mirage, seemingly close to imagination. Other time, they speak distant mountain and river is completely unrelated. What is all this Taoist nonsense got to do with your martial arts? Okay. Scholars through and cross in their book are lost in fog, unable to discern even the trace of truth from falsehood. The ignorant masses even consider the way of sage unworth and praise. So you can see that they never go tell you about the Qi Ji Guang, as I always tell you, and I wrote a book purposely as it is in Kung Fu 1560. So what is just written, I just read is by Grandmaster, the founder of Yiquan, Wang Xiangzai himself, the fighter himself. So in 1929, he said, bullshit is bullshit, is enough of bullshit. So he is among with the Tang Hao and Ma Li Tang. They want to reform it. But too bad, too bad that all this happens as I just read it for you. Now, in the authentic of Yiquan, this is what he wrote. We just take it as it is. The first, you need to transform your body, your strength. So again, I took a part, Google it, translate. So he said, in the study of stance training, the greatest taboo is exerting force with the body and mind. Exerting cause stagnations of chi. Stagnations of chi cause salations of intention. Salations of intention cause spiritual disarray, and spiritual disarray lead to ignorance. It is especially important to avoid raising the head and bending the waist, meaning that you have to have a proper body, and the excessive bending of the straight of the elbow and the leg. The idea posture is one that neither too bent nor too straight, with the tendons and ligament extend. So it doesn't talk nonsense, mysterious stuff. It say that the ideal posture is that They are neither too bent nor too straight with the tendon and ligament extent. So that's the first thing Wang Xiangzai in his authentic teaching telling you. Your body, you need to be able to handle your body and your physical body, your joints, you must not have a too bent or too straight. For example, in Wing Chun today, the nonsense. You see people say that their elbow have to sink this way, have to put here and like this. You know this is wrong. You try to do it, all this climb up and you don't have strength for multiple dimension. The proper. So this is wrong. This is putting, this is wrong. The proper is this. So it is sinking the elbow, but it have a horizontal balancing. In this, your hand, if it strike, it is it is solid. For this, if it slide this way, it's gone because it is actually uh not a cord to your body. So that's what Wang Xiangzai said. Okay. So that's the first thing. I just give you a taste. That's why we are talking about just now, remember? Mobility, stability, continuum. You don't monkey around with this thing. Today, I I bridge it with science so we can explain it better. And so people don't, keeping talking nonsense, those mysterious people talking nonsense about what Hendrik this and Hendrik that. What Hendrik? This is all science. You don't handle your body this way. Are you human or you're Ultraman or you're robots? So you see in 1931, 1929, Wang Xiongzai have already tell you. But at that time, they do not have mobility, stability, continuum. Today, you can see still people doing this kind of stuff. And instead of using this as a mobility joints, they try to use this as a stability joint. So they have punching this way, big muscle, all this bullshit. Okay. So that's violating everything. Now, so that is the teaching. Just give you a really a small snapshot that the body, you need to be able to body, to handle your body, meaning that you better know your mobility, stability continuum in today's terms. Now, the second thing is training your tendons and your bones. Again, I took apart. Let Google do it. So this is what Wang Xiangzai said. Strength originate in the bones and connections of tendon. Long tendon bring great strength and heavy bones result in flexible tendon. When bones stretch, bone must contract, flexible bone lead to solid strength, extending the wrist, neck, open up, and all this thing. And you say that the arm should be horizontal extend using scoping, embracing, opening, closing, stretching, and contracting force. Right? It says, you see that extending the wrist and neck open up all the tendon ligament in the body with the head and neck clinch, teeth closed, heels slight bend, and sixth sense in harmony. The chest and back rounded, energy naturally expand. The arm should be horizontal extend, use a scooping embrace, opening, closing, stretching, and contract force. So In today's term, in today's words, meaning that the first thing of your training is this type of thing, your bone and your tendons, your bone and your tendons, the bone and the tendons. Okay. So 1929, even though they do not have the science today, Grandmaster Wang Xiongzai wrote that as the second important thing in his authentic Yi Quan internal art training. Now, and then he's talking about how to use strength, how to use strength. Again, I do, just take a snapshot and then let Google translate for you. The so-called tangent generate power and bone develop edge. When making a move, use lifting, posing, supporting, embracing, scooping, dropping, drilling, wrapping techniques, moving the force and against the force, using squareness to make roundness, when landing, using restraint, lingering, and continuous techniques, using rounders to make square. This is because rounders can draw lift while squareness can turn and pose, operating the closing like the continuous chain. Continuous chain. So what is this? He's talking about strength, Jing. Okay, how to use it, how to apply it. If you look at that, he's talking about, again, he's talking about tendons, and he's talking about you must be able to embrace, to support, to wrap. Okay, okay, see here, you must be able to lift, like lifting, pulsing, supporting, embracing, scooping, dropping, drilling, wrapping, how you use your body. Well, lifting, isn't this lifting? This is called deadlift, right? And all what he said just now, isn't it, is within this? Your body has to be wrapping and all this thing. Isn't it this? Isn't it about this? The so-called tendon generate power and bone develop edge when making a move. Use lifting, posing, supporting, embracing, scoping, dropping, drilling, and wrapping techniques. Isn't it? It is telling you something like this. All those lifting, wrapping, all this thing is there, right? Isn't it? You want to use your tendon and your bones. And the very basic is the lifting, right? That's why I put it number one, lifting. So why when I do my Ma YouTube, I'm talking about you want to test your Ma with lifting. People say, "Wow, Hendrik, I'm not learning Wing Chun for lifting." I mean, do you know what the heck you're talking about? That is the very basic way of handling Jing. When making a move using lifting, pausing, all those things. And I'm not writing this. This is exactly from Grandmaster Wang Xiangzai, who is the internal art grandmaster 100 years ago, who created his own style, the Da Chen Quan or Yi Quan. This is his teaching. Now, until now, did he talk about any kinds of magic chi, magic everything? You don't see anything, right? Now, let's see what continue down. So after this jing, he talk about this is about uh, training the chi and nurture the chi. So in the training of chi, let's see what it is. Okay. So again, I take a piece of snapshot here and you see what he's talking about. Those who wish to learn this skill must possess a refined and arrogant demeanor, free from all this arrogance and world affair. Okay, all free from all this bullshit. He said that the study of chi cultivations emphasize application using long exertions and short exertions through the nose. The study of qi cultivation emphasizes its application using long exertion and short exertion through the nose, maintaining continued flow of qi and ultimately achieve a state pure emptiness and tranquil. It's breathing. He's talking about breathing here. Okay. And they say, right? The initial practice of circulation of qi begin with draw in the pure qi through the nose style. Pure qi from the nose style direct into the sea of qi, meaning your dantian. This is meaning your breathing. You have to go deep breathing. Isn't it this? And then the last, okay, at this part, the last of this part, it talk about the nurture of qi. So it said again the same. I took a part of this and so Google it, Google translate it, and here it said, although both the cultivations and practice of qi originate from the same source, okay, the methods of cultivating qi, whether related to the movement and stillness of life nature, whether tangible or intangible different, the study of cultivating qi is inseparable from life itself. Spirit is natural and qi is life. Therefore, the art of cultivating qi must incorporate the study of nature of life. So over here, nurture qi is what he said, cultivating the qi. Practice of qi is actually this one. Use the breathing, your breathing, okay? Okay, the study of cultivation of emphasize in application. This is the applications of the qi is using the breathing. So it's breathing. And then this one is about the art cultivations of qi must incorporate with the study of nature of life. It's called nurture qi. Isn't it this? How it naturally go? So disregard of how it is, isn't it go through the qi neurosing? where they call it the cultivation of chi. And in over in the fitness training and the strengthening, there is what the applications of the chi, the apply of the chi using the breathing, the practice of chi, okay, the application or the practice of chi. So this is the Wing Chun way, the nurturing the chi, fitness training, and the strengthening training. So here you deal with your breathing and you deal with the natural of your body, okay, for the nurture chi. Here, like in the aerobic, you deal with the breathing, okay, the practice of the chi, the applications of the chi is in the strengthening of training. So when you say natural, okay, that is the recovery type, that's the subtle breathing, like when you rest, okay, belong to the rest type of training, as he said here. The art of cultivating the chi must incorporate with the study of nature, the nature of life and life. That is on the recovery. Okay, so rest type, recovery type, there's the nature and life. And then for the training or the application of the practice, you use the breathing, common breathing. And then for strengthening, you will get into the windy breathing for the applications for strength. Now, so they say, right? This is the nurture chi for us in Wing Chun. This is the nurture chi for us in Wing Chun. This part. This part is the nurture chi for us in Wing Chun. This training of chi involved in, because it's talking about the breathing, the, okay, the former is the pathway, the intake and exhalations of chi, and the pathway of the descending of various chi, and the long exhalations, and the pure chi through nostril directly to the dantian of the sea of chi, drawing. Those are with this. So this is for the practice of qi in the Yi Quan is got to do with the is actually include the fitness training type of qi, the common breathing, and the strengthening type of training. So you can see when you talk about the qi, it is breathing and then it is nurturing qi. Again, like here, this is breathing, this is breathing, exhalations, inhalation. This is breathing actually talking about. But the Chinese in 1929, they're using the qi term as a breathing, qi term as energy. Okay, we need to differentiate it. And over here, when he said that you need to, the study of cultivation qi is separate from the life itself. Spirit qi is nature, qi is life. That is energy. That is the nurture qi in Wing Chun. So if you look at this, applying strength, first you have to train your tendon and your bones, and then you need to properly use your bone and your tendons for your strength. Basically, it is having the same common denominator of these three types of training. They just formulate it differently, do it differently. That is Yi Quan. Okay. So if you know about what I'm sharing here on the three types of functional training to develop the body, you know all this. I bridge it with science. You'll be able to read the 1929's writing, and you know exactly what they are. And it is as he said today, like as he said at that time, little do they know that the true path and the great way lie within the ordinary and everyday life. I mean, 100 years ago, human is human. Today, human is human. So it is ordinary and everyday life. It is not all types of bizarre and unusual thing or venturing into the realm of mysticism. If you never train, if you never train in this, if you never train in this, how can you have any gene? How can you have any internal? So what Wing Chun have, that three types of the training, the common denominator of Chinese martial arts, since General Qi Ji Guang. You check it with the internal art, the real internal art guy exists in the history, Wang Xiangzai, his writing by himself. You know, it is verified. You know that's what it is. So there's no such thing as internal, more internal, or whatever internal in the imaginary world. So as what I said, if you just study this YouTube, if you know this, have a big picture. If you have all my what in my books, the details, and the and watching my YouTube, you go read the ancient classic, the real deal, you know right away. And when somebody write you something mysterious or without muscular training, no deadlift, no everything, and you have this Taoist, soft power and everything, those bullshit. Wang Xiongzai never tell you about those bullshit, right? And in fact, it tell you that people at that time start to have this bullshit. So it is just ordinary. It is just as it is, where we can touch, we can feel daily, every day, right here. We can train with this. Not you pay me a lot of money. My teacher is this guy, this Tai Chi grandmaster, that grandmaster. You can see in the today's world there are many Tai Chi people saying, oh yeah, Wing Chun people have this Tai Chi Fa Jing, get his student to do demonstration. Those are BS. In the real world, you get knocked out. Okay. So today I prove to you that common denominator I share with you, that's what it is. Wing Chun have it. Wing Chun is based on that. You can use that to check on your opponent, your competitor. You can check on any martial arts. You can check on traditional Chinese internal art. And you know exactly what it is. Of course, you have to do that. Why? You're making a war. You need to know what type of weapons your opponent have. You're making a war. You need to No, what the opponent training is. It's like military. You have nuclear bomb. I might get nuclear bomb. You have laser shooter. Do I have laser shooter? How did they train? How good is their army? If you not be able to investigate on it, to analyze on it, how the hell are you going to fight that war? So talking anything about my Wing Chun is evolved into internal. First, you need to know what the heck is Wing Chun. The second is what is internal. Internal is your fantasy or what? So just now I just shared with everybody. In Wang Xiangzai's the Yi Quan way of looking into this common denominator, which I shared with you days ago in the Wing Chun way, the Wing Chun 1850s way. And if you watch my YouTube 2 weeks ago with Sifu Mike Wiley talking about the Ngor, you see, we can talk about the common denominator. We can communicate because, like in the Ngor, it said that the eight south and the 12 heart, we know that is our seven bowls. And then the Yi Qian today talk about his tendon and bones. We know that is our seven bowls. It's this simple. Why make so difficult? It is this simple. You want to get this, build the basic from this, and then you can develop the kung fu. Or else, what do you have? So that's why I never believe those who go to China and whatever become a grandmaster this and that and have their sinology. Bullshit. We don't need sinology. We don't need to go to China. You just as what I just shared with. You get the Qi Ji Guang riding, you get the Wang Xiangzai riding. Now the real fighters, grandmaster riding, you put it down there. You use your Wing Chun 1850s riding. You look into that. You look into the common denominator. You know what is real, what is fake. So today, I am not a grandmaster. I just tell you the basic. My interest is to restore this education for Wing Chun, or else everybody go to hell. What good is get a sinology to say this is about this is 1800, this is 1900? I don't need that. I need to know what is the technical because this Wing Chun is a traditional Chinese martial arts. And I share with you. When your body get into it, your leg has to attack him, your body has to attack him, your two arm has to attack him. Or else your arm get through it. You can say, well, I elbow it, your body is 10 million miles away. You're open up for body blow. Or when you attack, people just squat down, take your just take your wrist and lifted you up and throw you down to the ground. You're dead. Why is the leg, the knee attack? So that if you go down, the knee shoot at you right away. Cover up so that you don't have a hole. That is called short strike. That's Wing Chun. So today you ask me, is there any Wing Chun, this Wing Chun? No. If you don't have that leg guard, leg attack and the body attack, you are open up for the wrestler just drop down and pick you up. Look at in the YouTube how many of Wing Chun, including Grandmaster, being lift up and throw down to the ground because they don't have the attack. Or look at how many of these people get body shot and knock out. So get body shot and knockout. You look at the 1975, the Wing Chuners fight in Japan with the Kyokushin tournament, get a body shot and one strike KO. So today, this is what I like to share with you. We need to have educations. We need to know what we get into it. Not keeping talking about my grandmaster can beat you, I can beat you, talk with your hand, not talk with your mouth, and mine is the best in the rooftop fighting. What is the point? Where you don't even cover all your open. You put all those things, people who fighting like this in Wing Chun out there, your body and your leg are open. You open to body shot, you open to being take up and lift and drop you down and you over. Look at how many Wing Chuners in YouTube today, since 1980s until today, is falling apart that way. And you still want to go to China and talk with sinologists and not solving this thing? And you want to still talk about chi, mysterious power? Or I evolve my Wing Chun into the internal. Or I have a close quarter fighting because I'm using elbow. Are you serious? Do you know what you're talking about? So this is what I like to share with you. Okay. I'm getting old. Yesterday I just got a message from my Siheng in Choi Lei Fat, Grandmaster Chan Kam Fai. He was in South America teaching. He's 70. And he was sending me something, people demonstration on this chi stuff. He said, Hendrik, this what is the nonsense is this? And he said before when he was young, he don't say it, but now he's saying it. Why? He said that if I'm old now, I'm 70 something now. If I don't say it, meaning that I have to say that in my deathbed, that this is all fault. This is actually it just make a fool out of the Chinese kung fu. So he just messaged me, from South America. He have a tour with his military students and everything. So I tell you this, I'm 60 something too, almost 70. Am I going to hold on to not telling this straight to in your face and nobody tell you and everybody go down to the hell? It's time to reform, not about who is the best, who is the most authentic. Put the education back. The Chinese teaching is not missing. It's just people don't read it and keeping create their stuff.